Welcome to the podcast series The New Student Pharmacist, where we discuss chemistry and pharmacy, as well as leaders in pharmacy careers, community, and chemistry and pharmacy research. We encourage you to support the work we are doing and follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts by subscribing for free. Note, the views on the podcast represent those of my guest and I.
Purpose of these episodes not at all for advice or medical suggestions. These are aimed to provide support to peer pharmacists in training in educational and intellectually stimulating ways. Again, these are not at all for medical advice or medical suggestions. Please see your local board and state-certified health professional. The views of this podcast represent those of my guests and I.
You are very important, especially to us here at the New Chemist podcasting group. You listening in is significant.
Vous êtes très important, surtout pour nous ici au New Chemist Podcasting Group. Votre écoute est significative.
Usted es muy importante, especialmente para nosotros aquí en The New Chemist Podcasting Group. Usted escuchando, es significativo.
Você é muito importante. Especialmente para nós do The New Chemist Podcasting Group. Você ouvindo, é significativo.
Είστε πολύ σημαντικοί, ειδικά για εμάς εδώ στο The New Chemist Podcasting Group. Το να ακούς είναι σημαντικό.
Sie sind sehr wichtig, besonders für uns hier bei The New Chemist Podcasting Group. Es ist wichtig, dass du zuhörst.
Je bent erg belangrijk, vooral voor ons hier bij The New Chemist Podcasting Group. Dat je meeluistert, is veelbetekenend.
You are very important, especially to us here at the New Chemist podcasting group. You listening in is significant.
One introduction. The Olympian origin. In the primordial mists of Greek mythology, the Olympian gods were seen as the epitome of perfection and health. This fascination with bodily perfection transcended the realm of myth into the sphere of science, giving birth to legendary heroes whose feats echo in the molecular mechanisms that underlie human physiology today. The gods' relentless quest for ideal health inspired the birth of several divine-like figures. These figures, in the modern era, embody the critical components of human biology and biochemistry. The molecular world is analogous to Olympus, with each molecular pathway akin to the labyrinthine paths of ancient myth. The Olympian heroes personify key biological molecules and pathways, creating a conceptual bridge between the ancient stories and the contemporary scientific understanding of life. This narrative brings together mythology and molecular science, blending mythic tales with the biochemistry of hormones, lipids, and enzymes that drive human physiology. In this Olympian tale, the heroes serve as avatars for different molecules. Their struggles and triumphs symbolize the intricate biochemical processes that maintain homeostasis. For instance, Testos, who stands as the personification of testosterone, represents the male hormone essential for reproductive and anabolic functions. Cholesterol represents cholesterol, a molecule crucial for cellular integrity and hormone synthesis. These heroes navigate the complex terrain of the body's molecular labyrinth, tackling various challenges akin to the myths of old. They face modifications, transmutations, and the balancing act of synthesis and regulation, reflecting the realities of molecular biology. The Olympian heroes' journey begins at the cellular level, where their stories intertwine with the human body's molecular pathways. As we delve into each hero's tale, we uncover a world where mythology meets science, and each hero's attributes correlate with their scientific counterparts. Their tales aim to elucidate the mechanisms, challenges, and therapeutic potential inherent in these molecular entities. 2. Cholesterol, the lipid guardian in the world of Greek mythology. Cholesterol embodies the noble cholesterol molecule. Just as the ancient Greek hero Theseus navigated the labyrinth to slay the Minotaur, cholesterol stands as the guardian of cellular integrity, traversing the labyrinth of biochemical pathways to fulfill its duties. Cholesterol, though often misunderstood due to its association with cardiovascular disease, is crucial for maintaining cellular structure and function. Cholesterol, a steroidal molecule with a hydrophobic core, is integral to the lipid bilayer of cell membranes. It maintains membrane fluidity, providing both rigidity and flexibility, similar to how a shield deflects blows but can also bend to absorb impact. In biochemistry, the cholesterol molecule acts as a precursor to steroid hormones, bile acids, and vitamin D, a testament to its versatility and importance. The synthesis of cholesterol, akin to a mythic quest, begins in the cytosol with the conversion of acetyl-CoA into mevalonate, catalyzed by HMG-CoA reductase. This enzyme, much like a gatekeeper, regulates the rate-limiting step of cholesterol synthesis. The journey continues through a series of enzymatic steps, eventually leading to the formation of the sterol nucleus. Cholesterol then ventures forth, ready to fulfill its roles in hormone synthesis or as a key component of cell membranes. However, the path of cholesterol is fraught with challenges. High levels of cholesterol, particularly low-density lipoprotein, LDL, cholesterol, are associated with atherosclerosis and cardiovascular disease, much like how an overzealous hero could inadvertently cause chaos. On the other hand, high-density lipoprotein, HDL, cholesterol acts as a hero itself, scavenging excess cholesterol from the bloodstream and transporting it back to the liver for excretion. Understanding the dual nature of cholesterol is crucial in biomedicine. Therapeutic interventions often aim to modulate cholesterol levels, balancing the beneficial aspects of cholesterol against its potential dangers. statins, which inhibit HMG-CoA reductase, effectively reduce cholesterol synthesis, thereby curtailing the buildup of LDL cholesterol. The mythic tale of cholesterol is a reflection of its biological complexity, serving as a reminder of the delicate balance that underpins human health. 3. Testosteros, testosterone, the masculine warrior Testosteros, akin to the mythic hero Achilles, embodies the hormone testosterone, revered for its role in developing male characteristics and maintaining reproductive health. In the world of biochemistry, testosterone stands at the pinnacle of androgenic influence, driving the processes that lead to muscle mass development, voice deepening, and sperm production. Testosterone is synthesized in the Leydig cells of the testes, where the steroidogenic pathway begins with cholesterol. Through enzymatic steps involving 17-hydroxylase and 17,20 lyase, cholesterol is converted into testosterone. Testosterone's journey doesn't end there. Its effects are mediated through binding to androgen receptors, initiating a cascade of gene regulation that influences muscle protein synthesis, bone density, and secondary sexual characteristics. In the metaphoric narrative, Testosteros faces challenges akin to the Trojan War. His actions are checked by binding proteins like sex hormone-binding globulin, SHBG, which modulate the availability of testosterone in the bloodstream. Disorders like hypogonadism and androgen insensitivity syndrome, where testosterone's influence is diminished, reflect his struggles against insurmountable odds. Pharmacologically, testosterone is harnessed for testosterone replacement therapy, used to treat conditions ranging from delayed puberty to muscle-wasting diseases. Synthetic derivatives, such as nandrolone and oxandrolone, amplify his anabolic powers but also introduce risks associated with androgen abuse, including cardiovascular disease and infertility. The hero's tale thus serves as a cautionary reminder of the fine line between therapeutic benefit and adverse effect. The actions of testosterone extend beyond individual health, symbolizing the broader cultural and physiological significance of testosterone in the human experience. His tale illuminates the complex interplay between biology and society, reminding us of the importance of balanced hormone regulation in health and disease. 4. Estrogona, estrogen, the life-giver estrogona, the personification of estrogen, represents the quintessential goddess of fertility and life. Her presence is essential in the orchestration of female reproductive health, much like Demeter, the Greek goddess of the harvest, ensures the bounty of the fields. Estrogena's influence extends to the regulation of the menstrual cycle, pregnancy, and the development of secondary sexual characteristics in females. Estrogens are synthesized predominantly in the ovaries from cholesterol via the steroidogenesis pathway. The enzyme aromatase, much like a divine alchemist, catalyzes the conversion of androgens to estrogens, leading to the production of estradiol, estrone, and estriol. Estradiol, the most potent of these, acts through estrogen receptors to regulate gene expression, influencing everything from the development of female reproductive tissues to the modulation of the cardiovascular system. Estrogena's power is not limited to women. Estrogens also play a role in male physiology, although to a lesser extent. The hero's journey involves interactions with receptors across various tissues, affecting bone density, mood regulation, and lipid metabolism. Estrogena's story is one of balance, where too much or too little can lead to diseases like osteoporosis, cardiovascular disease, and hormone-sensitive cancers. In therapeutic terms, estrogena is often administered as hormone replacement therapy to alleviate menopausal symptoms or to prevent osteoporosis. Her synthetic counterparts, such as ethinyl estradiol, are commonly used in oral contraceptives, highlighting her role in reproductive planning. However, estrogena's tale is also a cautionary one. Hormone replacement therapy, while beneficial, has been linked to an increased risk of breast cancer and cardiovascular disease. Estrogena's story underscores the importance of understanding the nuances of hormone action, emphasizing the need for personalized approaches in hormone therapy. 5 biosynthesis trials. The Olympian gods tasked estrogena and testos theos with synthesizing themselves from the primordial cholesterol. In the world of biochemistry, this represents the steroidogenesis pathway, where cholesterol is converted into steroid hormones. Much like a hero's quest, this pathway is intricate and multifaceted, involving several enzymatic transformations that ultimately lead to the production of sex hormones. Cholesterol, the foundational molecule, undergoes side chain cleavage by the enzyme cytochrome P450SCC, leading to the formation of pregnenolone. This intermediate is akin to the golden fleece, a precursor to a wealth of hormonal diversity. Pregnenolone is further modified by hydroxylation and dehydrogenation enzymes, with 17-hydroxylase and 17,20-lyase leading the way for androgens and estrogens. The journey does not end there. Aromatase transforms androgens into estrogens, akin to a magical transformation. Each step of this process requires precise regulation, much like the steps of a hero navigating a labyrinth. Disruption in any part of the pathway, whether through genetic mutation or enzyme inhibition, can lead to significant health consequences, such as adrenal hyperplasia or hormone imbalances. Biosynthesis also involves the interplay of feedback loops, where the pituitary gland and hypothalamus regulate hormone levels via the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis. This regulatory network ensures that hormone synthesis aligns with the body's needs, akin to the gods ensuring the balance of the cosmos. Understanding the biosynthesis of steroid hormones provides critical insights into the development of therapies for hormone-related disorders. Enzyme inhibitors like ketoconazole target specific steps in the pathway, blocking the production of androgens or estrogens. This therapeutic intervention, while effective, also demonstrates the delicate balance of hormone synthesis, much like the careful steps a hero takes to avoid triggering traps within the labyrinth. 6 SAR challenges in the biochemical world. Structure-activity relationships, SARs, define the fate of molecules much like the gods decreed the destinies of heroes. Testos theos and estrogena face modification challenges in their chemical structures that directly impact their biological activities. These modifications, akin to the mythical transformations of Greek legends, alter the hormones' affinities for their respective receptors and, consequently, their physiological effects. Testosterone's structure includes a cyclopentanoperhydrophenin-3 nucleus, modified at positions 3 and 17 to confer its androgenic activity. Modifications to these sites, such as 17-methylation in methyltestosterone, increase the hormone's oral bioavailability, making it resistant to first-pass hepatic metabolism. However, such modifications may also enhance androgenic side effects, illustrating the trade-offs inherent in SAR modifications. Estrogens exhibit their own challenges in SAR. The aromatic A ring and the 17-hydroxyl group are essential for estrogenic activity. Synthetic estrogens like ethinyl estradiol feature modifications that improve their stability and potency, akin to the fortified armor of heroes. These modifications enhance receptor binding affinity but may also increase the risk of adverse effects, such as thromboembolism. Steroid hormone analogues used in clinical practice, like anabolic steroids, display varying anabolic to androgenic ratios. This ratio is analogous to a hero's balance of strength and wisdom, where one aspect may be amplified to the detriment of the other. These analogues are designed to maximize desired therapeutic effects while minimizing unwanted side effects, a balancing act akin to a hero navigating between Scylla and Charybdis. Understanding the SAR of hormones guides the development of therapeutics that can either mimic or inhibit their actions. For example, anti-androgens such as flutamide block androgen receptors, treating conditions like prostate cancer. SAR analysis helps in predicting how structural changes can influence a molecule's interaction with its target, providing insight into the potential therapeutic and toxicological outcomes. 7. The bile battle. In the ancient Greek mythos, the heroes embarked on epic quests to claim victory. Similarly, the bile acids and their synthetic analogues embark on a mission to control lipid levels, akin to battling against metabolic disorders like hyperlipidemia. The bile acids, much like the sirens of myth, lure lipids into the intestines for absorption and regulate cholesterol homeostasis. Bile acids, synthesized in the liver from cholesterol, are stored in the gallbladder and released into the small intestine to emulsify dietary fats. This process is similar to how a hero prepares the battlefield, breaking down fats into smaller micelles that can be absorbed. The reabsorption of bile acids through enterohepatic circulation maintains a steady supply for lipid digestion and plays a key role in regulating cholesterol levels. In the context of therapeutics, bile acid sequestrants like cholestyramine act as defensive weapons against hypercholesterolemia. These compounds, much like Odysseus binding himself to the mast, prevent bile acids from re-entering circulation by binding to them and facilitating their excretion. This forces the liver to synthesize new bile acids from cholesterol, thereby reducing circulating cholesterol levels. However, the battle does not end there. The liver's response to increased bile acid synthesis can also lead to increased triglyceride synthesis, much like an unintended consequence of a hero's quest. This underscores the need for careful consideration in the use of bile acid sequestrants, particularly in patients with pre-existing hypertriglyceridemia. The role of bile acids extends beyond lipid metabolism. They also act as signaling molecules, influencing glucose metabolism and energy expenditure. These multifaceted roles highlight the complexity of their influence, much like a hero with multiple powers. 8. Hypothalamo. The master regulator hypothalamo, akin to the god of orchestration, symbolizes the hypothalamus, the master regulator of the endocrine system. In the mythological world, this hero ensures the harmonious interplay of hormonal signals, orchestrating physiological processes with precision akin to a divine symphony conductor. The hypothalamus, located at the base of the brain, governs the release of hormones from the pituitary gland. Its regulatory network includes the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal (HPG) axis, which controls reproductive hormones, and the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal (HPA) axis, which manages the body's stress response. Hypothalamo, therefore, influences a range of processes from growth and metabolism to stress and reproduction. This master regulator synthesizes releasing and inhibiting hormones, such as gonadotropin-releasing hormone, GnRH, and corticotropin-releasing hormone, CRH, which control the secretion of pituitary hormones. GnRH, for instance, triggers the release of luteinizing hormone, LH, and follicle-stimulating hormone, FSH, governing the production of sex hormones in the gonads. This dynamic control resembles the divine interventions of Greek gods in mortal affairs, dictating the course of life events. Hypothalamus' influence extends to the autonomic nervous system, regulating body temperature, hunger, and circadian rhythms. It integrates inputs from the body's internal environment and external stimuli, much like a deity who surveys the cosmos and responds accordingly. Disorders of the hypothalamus, such as hypothalamic dysfunction, highlight the crucial role hypothalamo plays. Conditions like hypothalamic amenorrhea demonstrate the impact of disrupted GnRH secretion, leading to menstrual irregularities and infertility. Understanding the intricate workings of this master regulator is essential for developing treatments for a range of endocrine disorders. 9. Progestera, the womb guardian. Progestera, much like the protective goddesses of old, embodies the hormone progesterone, revered as the guardian of pregnancy and menstrual health. Her presence ensures the successful implantation of the fertilized egg and the maintenance of pregnancy, reflecting her status as a protector of life. Progesterone is synthesized in the ovaries, the adrenal glands, and the placenta during pregnancy. The luteal phase of the menstrual cycle, akin to the setting of a divine stage, is characterized by the secretion of progesterone from the corpus luteum. This hormone prepares the endometrium for implantation, increasing blood flow and stimulating the secretion of nourishing fluids. In pregnancy, progestera's role expands, maintaining the uterine environment and preventing uterine contractions, much like a hero who holds the fortress walls. The placenta takes over progesterone production, ensuring the continued support of the growing fetus. The hormone's influence extends to the mammary glands, preparing them for lactation, much like a general preparing troops for the next battle. Progestera's tale is one of balance and protection. Disorders such as luteal phase deficiency and recurrent miscarriage highlight the importance of progesterone in reproductive health. Synthetic progestins, designed to mimic progestera's actions, are used in hormone replacement therapy and as contraceptives, demonstrating her therapeutic potential. However, progestera also faces challenges. Progestin-only contraceptives can have side effects such as irregular bleeding and mood changes, reflecting the complexity of hormone regulation. Understanding progestera's role in the body is essential for developing effective treatments that harness her protective powers without unintended consequences. 10. The androcon steroid cycle. Androcon, representing anabolic steroids, personifies the pursuit of strength and endurance akin to the mythic heroes of old. His influence extends beyond the natural boundaries of hormone regulation, where synthetic analogues of testosterone amplify his powers to enhance muscle growth and performance. The anabolic steroids that androcon embodies have a modified structure that enhances their anabolic activity relative to their androgenic effects. This modification is akin to the magical weapons of heroes, designed for specific functions. These steroids promote protein synthesis and nitrogen retention, leading to increased muscle mass and strength. Androcon's influence extends beyond the anabolic realm. He also affects bone density, erythropoiesis, and the regulation of body fat. His tale reflects the desire for enhanced physical capabilities, a modern embodiment of the mythic pursuit of strength. However, the path of Androcon is fraught with challenges. The misuse of anabolic steroids leads to a range of adverse effects, such as cardiovascular disease, liver damage, and endocrine disruption. His tale thus serves as a cautionary reminder of the fine line between therapeutic benefit and potential harm. The anabolic-androgenic ratio of steroids highlights the trade-offs inherent in their use, much like a hero balancing their virtues and flaws. Therapeutic uses of anabolic steroids include treating muscle wasting conditions, osteoporosis, and delayed puberty. Their use requires careful monitoring to balance the anabolic benefits against the androgenic risks. 11. The fight for lipid kingdoms in the biochemical realm. The struggle for lipid kingdoms mirrors the epic battles of myth. HDL, the protector of cardiovascular health, embodies Athena, the goddess of wisdom and strategy. In contrast, LDL, often vilified for its role in atherosclerosis, embodies Ares, the god of war. High-density lipoprotein, HDL, plays a key role in reverse cholesterol transport, a process akin to a divine intervention. HDL collects excess cholesterol from peripheral tissues and transports it to the liver for excretion. This protective role aligns HDL with cardiovascular health, much like a guardian watching over a kingdom. Low-density lipoprotein, LDL, however, carries cholesterol to peripheral tissues. Elevated levels of LDL can lead to the accumulation of cholesterol in arterial walls, forming plaques that impede blood flow. This process resembles the destructive tendencies of Ares, resulting in atherosclerosis and cardiovascular disease. The interplay between HDL and LDL highlights the balance required for lipid homeostasis. Therapeutic interventions often aim to increase HDL and reduce LDL levels, using agents like statins, which inhibit HMG-CoA reductase to reduce cholesterol synthesis. These interventions resemble the strategic maneuvers of Greek heroes, designed to maintain order in the kingdom of lipids. Beyond HDL and LDL, other lipoproteins like very low-density lipoprotein, VLDL, and intermediate-density lipoprotein, IDL, play roles in lipid metabolism. Their interactions form a complex web of regulation that determines the fate of cholesterol and triglycerides. Understanding the nuances of lipid regulation is crucial for managing cardiovascular risk. The fight for lipid kingdoms continues, with new therapies targeting different aspects of lipid metabolism, aiming to restore balance and prevent disease. 12. The realm of synthetic steroids. In the realm of synthetic steroids, nandrolone and its derivatives serve Androcon, the hero of anabolic strength. These synthetic compounds, like enchanted weapons, are designed to enhance anabolic activity while minimizing androgenic effects. Nandrolone, a synthetic anabolic steroid, is structurally similar to testosterone but with modifications that enhance its anabolic effects. Its esters, such as nandrolone decanoate, have a prolonged duration of action, akin to a hero equipped with a weapon of enduring power. These esters are used therapeutically for conditions like anemia and muscle wasting. The synthesis of synthetic steroids involves esterification and hydroxylation, processes that transform the molecular structure to enhance desired effects. These modifications resemble the forging of divine weapons, where each step is carefully calibrated to achieve specific goals. The resulting compounds have varied anabolic androgenic ratios, allowing for targeted therapeutic applications. However, the realm of synthetic steroids is also one of caution. The misuse of these compounds for performance enhancement can lead to significant health risks, including cardiovascular disease, liver damage, and hormonal imbalances. The tale of Androcon and his synthetic allies serves as a reminder of the need for responsible use of anabolic steroids. Therapeutically, synthetic steroids offer benefits in treating conditions like osteoporosis and delayed puberty. Their use requires careful monitoring to ensure that the balance between therapeutic benefits and adverse effects is maintained. 13 Fertility Quests. The quest for fertility is one of the oldest tales, both in myth and in science. Estrogona and Testos Theos work together to create life, their interplay crucial for fertility, much like the divine pair Aphrodite and Ares. Their influence extends from the regulation of the menstrual cycle to the development of sperm. In women, estrogona regulates the menstrual cycle through the cyclic release of estrogens and progesterone. The coordination of these hormones prepares the uterus for implantation and maintains pregnancy. Estrogena's influence extends to the development of secondary sexual characteristics and the regulation of the menstrual cycle. In men, Testos Theos influences spermatogenesis, promoting the development and maturation of sperm. His actions, mediated through androgen receptors, also support the development of secondary sexual characteristics and maintain libido. Disruptions in the interplay between estrogona and Testos Theos can lead to infertility, much like a breakdown in divine harmony. Conditions like polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, and hypogonadism highlight the importance of hormone balance in fertility. Therapeutic interventions, such as hormone replacement therapy and assisted reproductive technologies, aim to restore balance and enhance fertility. These interventions, akin to divine interventions, require a deep understanding of hormone regulation to be effective. 14 The anti-lipid defense. In the battle against lipid disorders, the gods have equipped us with anti-lipid defenses akin to divine armor. Bile acid sequestrants and HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors, statins, serve as protective weapons, shielding the body from cardiovascular chaos. Bile acid sequestrants bind to bile acids in the intestine, preventing their reabsorption and forcing the liver to use cholesterol to synthesize new bile acids. This process reduces circulating cholesterol levels, much like a divine shield deflects harm. These compounds are effective in reducing LDL cholesterol levels and are often used in combination with other lipid-lowering agents. Statins, the most widely used lipid-lowering agents, inhibit HMG-CoA reductase, the rate-limiting enzyme in cholesterol synthesis. This action reduces the production of cholesterol and increases the expression of LDL receptors, leading to increased clearance of LDL cholesterol from the bloodstream. Statins are akin to the ultimate weapon, effectively reducing cardiovascular risk in a broad range of patients. The anti-lipid defense also includes newer agents like PCSK9 inhibitors, which enhance LDL receptor recycling and further reduce LDL cholesterol levels. These agents, much like newly forged weapons, provide additional options for patients who require more intensive lipid lowering. The anti-lipid defense underscores the importance of understanding lipid metabolism and the interplay between different pathways. It also highlights the need for personalized approaches in managing lipid disorders, much like a hero choosing the right weapon for the battle ahead. 15. Closing the myths. As the myths of old become the science of today, the heroes continue their battle in the human body, each serving a distinct purpose in maintaining health. Their tales illustrate the complex interplay of biochemical processes that underpin human physiology and highlight the importance of understanding these mechanisms for effective therapeutic intervention. The myths of cholesta, testos theos, estrogena, and their allies serve as a conceptual framework for understanding the roles of hormones, lipids, and enzymes in health and disease. Their journeys illuminate the challenges of hormone synthesis, regulation, and therapeutic manipulation, much like the epic quests of ancient heroes. These myths underscore the importance of balance in human physiology, where each molecule and pathway plays a role in maintaining homeostasis. They also highlight the potential for therapeutic intervention, where the understanding of biochemical processes can lead to the development of effective treatments. The tales of the Olympian heroes remind us of the intricate beauty of human biology and the ongoing quest to understand and harness its power. Their stories continue to inspire and inform, guiding us on our own journey through the labyrinth of science and medicine.
Thanks for listening to the podcast series The New Student Pharmacist, where we discuss chemistry and pharmacy, as well as leaders in pharmacy careers, community, and chemistry and pharmacy research. We encourage you to support the work we are doing and follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts by subscribing for free. We are so glad that you were able to tune in today. Note, the views on the podcast represent those of my guest, and I take care and all the best.
Purpose of these episodes not at all for advice or medical suggestions. These are aimed to provide support to peer pharmacists in training in educational and intellectually stimulating ways. Again, these are not at all for medical advice or medical suggestions. Please see your local board and state-certified health professional. The views of this podcast represent those of my guests and I.